By the time I wake up, Olivia's gone. I check my phone for the time, only to realize it's 4 in the morning. I can't help but groan as I sit up on the couch, but instead of feeling horrible like I have the past few days, I feel surprisingly well. There's no doubt that I have Olivia to thank. Hell, I might even be able to go to school today. Wonder if any of that soup is left. She probably left it in the fridge, right? I shuffle over to the appliance and open up the door, allowing my eyes to adjust to the light. It only takes a second for me to spot a Tupperware container filled with the delicious meal. Nice. I'll have to ask her for the recipe sometime. Thanks to Olivia's advice in cooking, I'd finally made my recovery and returned to school. And I'm glad to be back. I felt like I missed so much while I'd been gone. So much I needed to catch up on. I mean, I did manage to finish all the assignments that Ben had sent to me. But I feel out of the loop with other things. Like gossip about me. Damien tried to give me the rundown of it all during PE. I'm still in shock over how bad some of them got. Up to cartel drug running and FBI's most wanted. I don't think that's even possible in just a week. The end of class bell rings throughout the school, signaling the start of lunch. As everyone in class is packing up their things, Mr. Yardakin speaks up. Alright, everyone! Make sure you complete the assignment by next class. You all have a wonderful rest of the day now. Oh, and Inko. I stop at the mention of my name as I throw on my backpack. Could you wait a moment? I have something I wish to speak to you about. Yeah, of course. Olivia looks back from the classroom entrance, waiting for me. Don't wait up at me. I'll meet you at the table with the others. With a shrug and a nod, Olivia wheels herself out the door and down the hall. Everyone else leaves the classroom until it's just Iyadakin and I. Please, have a seat. I take the seats closest to Iyadakin's desk, putting my backpack down as well. Mr. Iyadakin himself gets from his chair and walks around his desk, leaning against it. So, I'll be quick about it. I got a job that needs doing. Up! You missed assignments and need makeup work, and I need some extra help with something. Something I think you'll be very interested in. Some good friends of mine are getting married in a few short days, and they've hired me to be their photographer. And given the excellent loving experience, I thought of you. Me? Yes, if you want to, of course. I could always call in some associates to help me out, but I thought adding in some extra credit would sweeten the deal. What would we be doing? There's a broad smile on his face and a distant look in his eyes. Well, you'll be my apprentice in this case. You'll not only be helping set up more elaborate photos, you'll also be doing a lot of independent shots. You mean I'll be taking my own pictures? Yep! In fact, you will be using my SLRs and lenses for this, to keep all the shots uniform. The idea of finally getting to use something like Mr. Yardakin's $1,000 Cavemanon makes my head swim. So, what do you say? Interested? It certainly seems like a hefty task, even if Iyadakin would be there to help us. And then again, Iyadakin would be offering the job if he didn't think I was capable of doing it. This would technically be my first official photography gig. And a wedding shoot to boot. It sounds so daunting yet enticing. I would love to. Alright, sounds like a done deal. It's after school today, we can talk about it more later. Wait, what, hold up. It's after school? There's not a time period after this? For now, you should be going along to lunch. Thank you, Mr. Iyadakin. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the timing of this, really, because he doesn't seem panicked. I give the teacher a nod and grab my backpack. Just as I head out the door, my curiosity gets the better of me. So, who's the lucky couple, if you don't mind me asking? The school nurse, actually. The husband-to-be is a good friend of mine. Huh. Neat. I make a mental note to give my well wishes to the nurse if I see her before the wedding. With that, I wave Mr. Yadakin goodbye and head down the hallway. Wait. Friday? But I was going to practice painting then. I already agreed to go. Even if I didn't, it's real photography. It's not even a question which I should go to, but jeez. It's like the universe is conspiring against me to never stop drawing stick figures. I finally meet up with Olivia, who's waiting near the entrance to the cafeteria. The grassy green girl has leaned over, a sour pout scrunching her mall clothes as she eyes the passersby. When she notices I moved into her airspace, she perks up immediately. Seeing the transformation is surreal, and I chew on my cheek to keep from laughing as I watch her muscular tail wag happily. Finally, took you long enough. Yeah, sorry that took so long. You didn't have to wait for me, by the way. I can manage waiting if it means eating with you. Hello? I can feel a smile tug at my lips just from hearing Olivia say that. Mind if I push your chair in? Using me as a battering ram to the crowd now, huh? Yeah, something like that. Alright, but only 'cause you asked. But give me your backpack. I'll use it as a shield. When I grab the handles, Olivia moves her tail up to grab my wrist, like at the arcade. Alright, charge! Yes, ma'am! I start marching through the crowd of unruly and famished teens clamoring for their daily meal. Olivia turns her head to me to say something. So what happened with Iyadakin? You in trouble for something? Huh? Oh, nah. Iyadakin just had a proposition for some extra credit. Really? What is it? He wants me to join him at a wedding and help him out with a photo shoot. Says he thinks it'll be a good learning experience. Oh, well, that sounds pretty interesting. Did you take it? Yep. Could be a good way to hone in on what I know. Plus, that extra credit can help make up for the time that I was sick. You mean when you nearly overdosed on that cough syrup cocktail you made? Yeah, that. Wait. Huh, what? I didn't say anything. Crowd's too loud here. The Broex chuckles to herself. I'm left rolling my eyes, letting her claim victory in this exchange. By the time we've got our lunch, it's a simple matter of locating Damien and Liz by the telephone pole neck. Okay, that's better. For whatever reason, they're at a more sequestered table today, and when we arrive, it's pretty obvious why. Oh dear. Took you too long enough. Yeah. I expected more from Olivia. Something more graphic. Instead, Olivia rolls herself the rest of the way, taking her designated spot at the head of the table. I take the spot adjacent to her, all while keeping a wary eye on the pink Parasaurolophus. It seems like Mia's rage against me has simmered down over time, but that air of uncertainty and uneasiness still wavered around her. The best I can do is act friendly. Hey, Mia. Is there something you need? Need? Nah. Just here to catch up with my good pal here. While the red-scaled menace turns towards Olivia, her own eyes remain locked on her soggy chicken she's eating mechanically. I thought you were asking Liz for her homework, though. That too. Ah, right. Here, guys. A pair of soda cans are rolled down the table, and I thank Raptor Christ I'm able to catch both before they ram into my tray of questionable lunch meat. You guys were taking a while, so I grabbed the drinks today. No, you didn't. Mia gave those to you. Well, she did because I thought about doing it. She's trying to bribe you for the math answers I helped you with earlier. Lizzie, I can't believe you would imply something like that about me. But it's true. Hey, free soda's free soda, man. At any rate, real reason I'm here is... Say, Olivia, you leave your phone at home or something? People have been trying to contact you all day. Oh. Olivia pulls her phone out from her jacket pocket. I catch a glimpse of her wallpaper, a comical portrait of Guts that she'd probably doodled. Yeah, I ran out of service for the month. What the hell? You don't got a proper monthly plan? I got more important things to be doing than this, you know. If they want to see Olivia so bad, why send you and not just show up themselves? Now shut it! Who's so important for all this anyways? Who do you think? Ben. Ben wants to talk to Olivia. Why does he want to talk to Olivia? Is this 20 freaking questions? How the hell should I know what's really going on between my boyfriend and Hot Wheels here? All that matters to me is if Livia's here. All that matters to me is if Livia's here. Gosh, this for some reason I'm stumbling over this sentence. All that matters to me is if Livia here is gonna fix it or not. I'll think about it. Ugh, whatever. I'm out of here. Smell you later, Gator. Mia storms off, leaving Olivia looking very sour. Things alright with Ben? Olivia rests her arms on the table and slumps her head in. Yeah, I don't think I had mentioned this before, but I think that with Olivia and Ben's history, I think that they were probably an item at one point. I think that might be what's going on. I don't want to talk about it. Where'd her bright mood from before go? Well, anyways, Damien, you really shouldn't condone cheating, even with something as simple as math homework. But you helped me out with it. That's different. I helped you with it and I think you're getting something out of it. Like the answers! Yeah, Liz, you're putting a little bit too much, you're thinking a little bit too highly of Damien's brain capacity here at this point. What I mean is, in comparison, Mia's just trying to be lazy, and she's only cheating herself. What's the issue, then? What's the issue? Yeah, I get free soda. Someone you hate tricks herself into saying stupid, and everyone thinks they win. It's great. Well, I guess that's a way of thinking about it, Damien. You scare me sometimes, Damien. Guess I'll have to ask Ben what's going on if I see him later. In the meantime, Olivia's disposition only keeps getting more and more dour. I try to think of something to help her cheer up, but I keep coming up with dead ends on just what could work here. There's gotta be something. I can't just leave her in such a sour mood. Oh, how about that? Hey, so, what's the deal with your phone background? Oh, you noticed? She flips her phone on and shows me her background. Aw, it's a little doodle of Guts. Yeah, drew it up the other day. Got the curves just right first try, so it's pretty cool. I'll bet. Is he with you today? Nah, I left him at home. How often do you bring him? Not that often. Maybe once or twice a semester, and even then it's just when I'm bored. Although once he was just in my hoodie when I left for school. Unexpected. It was. Here, I got some pics saved. The screen displays a small creature, sat atop a desk with its skinny tail clutched to its chest tightly. I don't know why, but he holds his tail like that all the time. I feel Damien and Liz hovering behind me, their eyes locked onto the adorably fat creature on screen. I don't know who coos, probably Liz, but Olivia rolls her eyes and swipes to the next picture of the cute pet, now in a transparent ball and looking confused. For the remaining minutes of lunch, we just sit huddled around Olivia's phone, entranced by her sweet little rat as it did the most mundane things. Yet, Guts' method of doing them was way too undeniably cute, and that's what really got to us and made time fly faster than we could even notice. Ding dong bing bong! I blink a couple of times and stretch my arms and legs as I get up from my desk. Miss Prockling really knows how to make 40 minutes feel like 80. Well, at least it's time to practice painting. For real, for real. Wait, no. Iedakin wrote me into the photo shoot. Can't practice painting. Can't get good at anything. Why is it every time I try to actually improve, something like this happens? At this rate, I'll never get good enough to get a real following. I haven't gotten to actually have a whole afternoon to practice at all. Still, there's no way in hell I'm missing this. I ended up meeting with Ben and Iedakin right as he was locking his classroom. While the teacher made the assignment, internship, apprenticeship, while he had made it all sound simple, I was still subjected to some paperwork. Something about liability waiver or something. You know, in case something happens to us, like a surprise attack by 5 teenagers in multicolored spandex. So, Power Rangers. I wonder if that happens often. We still filled the form out as the instructor gave an overview of just what exactly Ben and I would be doing. There's few structures out here, save for one at the edge of the cliff. Ben's the first one out of the cramped car with an armful of telescoping black stands. I follow his example, unloading the vehicle. Alright, you two. You remember what you're doing tonight? Yes, sir. After we set up a photo station in the corner of the hall, we'll be taking turns walking the reception taking pictures of the guest. Perfect. I'll be with the wedding party the entire time. So if you need me, just look for the gaggle of similarly dressed women screeching and you'll find me. He grins as he helps carry the last of the lightest equipment from the trunk. Remember, this is actual work, so be polite, be efficient, but most importantly, Ben and I sit upright at attention, ready for any order our teacher will give us. Have fun! But trust me, the clients will appreciate it more. Finally finished with the unloading, I inhaled the mixed aroma of ocean and flowers. While I find the scent energizing, Ben seems to have the exact opposite reaction. His brows pinch together in disgust as he tries in futility to fan away the air with one hand while covering his nose with the other. I think I'm going to be the sick one next with this weather. At least the view's great. That it is, yeah. Mr. Iedakin leads us through a small garden out front and into the reception hall. It's a spacious wedding tent, adorned with all sorts of flora, and high-end lighting keeping the place warm and lit. Okay, you guys know how to set up here. I'm going to get to business. Yes, sir. He leaves us, stepping into the ongoing ceremony with a primed camera and tripod. Ben and I exchange a single glance before we both resign ourselves to the daunting task. First on the list is the telescopic stands for the cameras. From experience, it doesn't take us too long to get those in place. Next are the reflectors and strobe lights, all packed in heavy cases that have to be hauled inside. By my third case, I'm already exhausted. Shoot, I thought gym class would have prepared me for this. Bzzz. My phone buzzes. Might as well take a breather. Opening up the notification, I discover it's from Olivia. Hey, Shades. Hi, Olivia. You got service back? Oh, I lied about that. Saw you live with Iedakin after school. What's up with that? I'm helping him with a wedding photo shoot. You? At a wedding? Didn't he just explain this to her, though? Did Iedakin give you a better jacket for it? My jacket is cool enough. So where at? T said it was someplace called Clarkson Lookout on the way over. Wait, really? That place has a bunch of scenic views. If you see any good landscape shots, take one for me. Sure, if I get the time. No, do it now. Cute and threatening message received. Jeez. Well, this is as good a spot as any. The sun's starting to set, so it does make for some pretty nice atmosphere. Maybe Olivia wants to paint another landscape. In the distance, I see a few sailboats and yachts. further beyond a freighter or two. The seas sure are crowded these days. I take the picture and send it over to Olivia. Thanks. I can't picture me thinking like that in reality. The thought alone of her doing something in so sweet a manner. Inko, this thing weighs like 80 pounds. I'm not doing all the work. Oh, right. I let my camera hang loose around my neck while assisting Ben with setting up the last of the standing reflectors. Setting up meant not only the cameras, but a large chunk of the incomplete decor prep, which meant carrying out loads and loads of heavy cases loaded with strobes, reflectors, cloth sheets, and so many telescoping pole stands. Following his instructions, Ben had set up a small red carpet path leading to a glamour shot station. And meanwhile, I was finishing making sure the marked out spots within the room had the right combination of flash, strobe, and or reflector. By the time our teacher had come back, I just placed the final light in position. As Sked starts walking down Ben's handmade path, I skirt along the edge with my borrowed high-end camera. The DSLR's clicks are muted compared to the chattering guests, and while I think I managed to catch some decent shots, I'm just not really feeling it today. Is something wrong with me? And voila! Ben was having a much easier time working at the makeshift studio we built in the corner. Couples would simply walk up and stand before the backdrop with a massive window to the cliffside and ocean. And Ben had the brilliant idea to not only set up Iadokin's loaned camera, but also his own so he'd capture the couples from 2 angles at once. He looked happy with each and every shot he took, and the people always chatted him up right after. Here I am, doing my best not to scowl as I look over the blurry shot I had messed up. Blurry because my hands are shaking. I guess I'm I hadn't noticed till now that my main messaging app had been going off. So is it going well? Hardly. I think Ben's turning it into a competition. Are you winning? No, not really. Beat him for me? That wasn't a real message. I try to ignore my phone for now. I don't think anything will calm my nerves at this point. That feeling of anxiety only grows as time marches on. I can't seem to get any one picture just right, and Ben zooming around as efficiently as he isn't helping. Well, that's not all. Olivia's messages are just throwing me off. Just break his flashing stick thingy, lol. Then his pics will be super dark. How out of date is Olivia to think we still use flash pans? Or lock him in a bathroom or something. I don't think that's sportsmanlike. Or legal. Oh, I just remembered I need another pic. Can you try shoving him into the wedding cake and taking a pic of him smashed on the floor? I need it for, Muse. That. Do it for me? Come on, that's just violent. Just barely within my peripheral vision, I spot a perfect shot of an older couple. The parents of the groom, I believe. There, that's a good chance. I bring the borrowed camera up, look through the viewfinder, and see that the parents have already moved away and into another group. The camera slips from my grip, but luckily the neck strap holds it safely against my chest. Okay, I need a break. I find an appropriate place to sneak outside and go around the building, slumping down against the brick siding. It's really twilight now. The ocean's reflection of the sun is getting very close to meeting the real thing. My phone buzzes once more, and something in me jumps. It's not fear, though. Just wish I knew what it was. Olivia sends a video of Guts running around a maze she put together using cardboard and school supplies. When he comes out the other end, she gives him a grape to bite into in her palm. Aww. I was never really fond of rodents, but seeing Olivia's videos and little doodles is really starting to sway me. There's something about Olivia having such a strong bond with Guts and caring for him that warms my heart. It's hard to believe that this is the same girl that used to give me nothing but icy stares when I first met her. I'm glad she feels comfortable enough with me to let her defenses down and be herself. As I continue snapping photos, my trek around the hall to find good photo ops leads me to the stage where the DJ once was. Shame that I didn't get any good shots of him while he was here. Maybe Ben got some decent pictures. Looking through the camera lens, I see that there's a gentleman sitting on the steps that lead up to the stage, finishing off a cigarette. There's someone over on the steps, taking a deep drag of a cigarette and blowing the smoke up towards the window. A truly iconic display of suavity. Before I know it, I've taken several shots. He seems like he wants to be left alone, but he doesn't mind right...
Hey, kid.
Ah.
At least get my good side, will ya?
Oh! I step closer, readjusting my camera settings and scrambling for an explanation. Sorry about that. I was unsure if you wanted the attention.
Yeah, it's alright. People say I got a kinda rusting bitch face. Though I can't lie, I'm pretty exhausted, kid. Especially after I've had to carry the new missus down the aisle all the way to the car.
Ah, so this is the groom.
So, you gonna take a photo or what?
Oh, right. Sorry. As I raise my camera, the groom takes a thinker-esque pose, taking a drag from his cigarette. After a few clicks and a couple of slight adjustments to my position, I believe I got some pretty good shots in there. There we are. The groom blows out a plume of smoke from his mouth before leaning over to see the captures. Smells like a Vegas hotel. I give the groom time to look at each photo thoroughly before moving to the next one.
These are pretty good, kid. Managed to make this mug of mine look halfway decent.
He lets out a scratchy chuckle as he takes another puff of his cigarette before snuffing what little was left of it onto the floor. Thanks. Say, if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing all the way over here? It's your big day, isn't it? As the groom lets out another plume, he has already begun to dig up another cigarette. Lighting the new cig casually, he begins to inhale it. And keep inhaling it. He holds up a finger as he continues inhaling, until the cigarette is finished, and he finally exhaling a stream of lung cancer slowly over the course of 30 seconds. Sir?
Of course it is. Just have a little rest is all. I mean, this has been the happiest day of my life, but it's tiring as all hell. The missus is certainly having fun. In a few hours, when we're in our new no longer bachelor pad, I'll be listening to her as she moans about how sore she is.
The groom lets out another plume of smoke, this time through his nostrils.
But hey, if that's the price I gotta pay, holy matrimony and all that jazz.
Definitely feels like the groom is laying it on a bit thick to who is essentially a stranger to him, and yet I can understand what he means.
You know, you've been going around the whole reception snapping photos. Why don't you take a break too?
He motions his hand to the nearby stage as an available seat. I settle myself on the stage as the groom then fiddles with a small packet. Looking closer, it's a still-sealed pack of cigarettes.
Trent told me a bit about you, you know.
Who?
You're a camera teacher, or whatever he's called at your school. Says you're a good kid and all, though a bit clueless.
Hey! The groom lets out another guffaw as he cracks open the pack of cigs and plucks out a fresh cancer stick.
His words, not mine.
So how do you know him?
We've known each other for ages. He actually helped me meet the missus. Funny how that works out.
Whoa, Mr. Yadakan was your wingman?
He always hated how I told him that. I'd given him a lift to some field trip he had to chaperone. Don't know why, he could have taken the school bus. But as soon as I got there, I met the rest of his co-workers, including my would-be wife. Petra Prick tricked me into also chaperoning too, saying I could use the time to get to know her better.
Geez, maybe I should be asking him. Well, no, I can't.
Can't what?
Nothing important.
Have a teacher tell you how to court a lady friend, right?
Hey, no.
Another one of his students. Your classmate, yeah?
It's not like that.
Ah, come on, I know you want to talk about girls. That's always fun. Humor me a bit.
She's just a good friend. The words taste bitter on my tongue for some reason.
Sure, kid, sure. We've got a few more minutes of quiet while Bridezilla and her maids of murder fight over that bouquet.
I quickly glanced over to see a woman twice my age wielding a folding chair like it was a battle axe.
Trent can't help you here, but I can. So this good friend of yours, what's she like?
Well, it's a bit of a complicated history.
Oh?
I mean, when I first met her, she was very cynical and sarcastic. Well, she's still sarcastic, but in a lighthearted way. Even with her friends, she was a little distant. But when she's painting or gushing about some franchise or obscure anime, there's this unashamed excitement and passion in it. I haven't met anyone with that kind of energy before. Once you get to know her, she's just nice under it all.
That everything?
Well, yeah. I think she drew me carrying her once.
Well, shoot.
He slides the ring off his finger and holds it up to me.
You want this? Sounds like you need it more than me. Kidding, I'm kidding. But dang, sounds pretty cut and dry to me. Never had a crush before?
Not on anyone I know personally.
Your folks together?
Yeah.
They love each other too, yeah?
Yeah, I guess I do.
You guess?
It's complicated. They're around so little, I don't even know what their love looks like, how they interact. If they even love each other at all. They've never told me their story, why they're together. Anything that would prepare me for the future was outsourced. As far back as I remember, whenever my parents weren't around, there was a screen nearby. And they weren't around often. I've always had that little electronic friend in my pocket telling me how great I was at everything. That's been my only help to get through life. All the best ways to have best friendships, hobbies, romance. But it feels worthless now. I'm not prepared. I don't even know what this is. I don't even know if what this is love. This guy seems to think so, though. He'll help me out. I see him putting some words together now.
Let me give you a little anecdote, kid.
The groom finally lights the cigarette, though this time he's slow to puff on it.
See my beautiful bride over there?
He motions with the dull ember of his smoke to where the bridesmaids were still violently wrestling and the bride acted as referee.
Even if we had never met, and this was a happenstance meeting, I'd see her over there. And I just know I love her.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Aren't you trying to give me a little push? Convince me I like this girl?
You're the one who wanted advice. There it is.
I thought you were going to go on a bit more about love.
Why the hell would I give a speech about love? I know what it is. You know what it is. But there's no groundbreaking advice that'll make everything make sense, and you don't need me convincing you. You're just looking for reasons to not believe what's right in front of you.
Oh.
Break's over. Gotta run.
The man gets up, dusting off his pants and flicking the cigarette butt into the trash.
Hey, take some great pictures for me, will you? No more moping. You're on the clock.
He jogs into the crowd to meet up with his bride. My phone buzzes in my pocket. What timing? I reach into my pocket and pull out my phone, squinting at the screen. An unread notification from our group chat. Shoot, do I have time to be on my phone right now? Maybe I can talk to Damien about this. He's known Olivia for a while. Ben and Olivia used to be friends too, right? Would he be able to help? I should probably focus on what I'm here to do. Besides, I don't want to let the groom down. But this is Olivia we're talking about. I don't want anything... I don't want to do anything without knowing as much as I can. Okay, now for a moment I thought we had gonna have like 3 or 4 different possibilities here, so... Now the thing is here, is that I myself personally is that I am very job oriented. So if I'm here to do a job, I would be focusing on what I'm supposed to be doing. I would try to have to push past through whatever is occupying my mind and more or less get lost in what the job is that I'm doing, focusing on putting forth the best product that I can. Consulting the others on Olivia here is that it kind of goes against what our own end goals are. And personally, this might allow us to get quote-unquote closer to Olivia, but I don't know. I think at this point, really, so we need to show our professionalism. Iodakin has trusted us with this, and so we need to prove that we can do well, and also we need the extra credit. So we're going to focus. I can't afford to slack off right now. Besides, I made a promise to the groom, and I don't want to let him down. Or me, Mr. Iodakin for that matter. I silenced my phone and slid it into my jacket pocket, pushing off the wall and taking hold of my camera. Where should I even start? I think I have a few ideas. With the groom's words still ringing in my ear, I find a second wind of sorts. I can't really understand it. I feel like I'm already picking out prime shots from just scanning over the hall. While Ben has continued his more autonomous rapid-fire approach with the staccato clicking of his snapshots, I've been singling out couples in their own moments just scattered throughout. I think some of them have even noticed, seeming to maneuver themselves out of the Parasaur's view. Young man, over here! An elderly dino catches my attention, waving me to her table where she and her family are sitting. Oh, we need a good Christmas card photo, if you would be so kind. Of course, ma'am. The large group moved to one side of the table for me, smiling sincerely in my lens. The first shot seemed perfect, but for their sake I make sure to take a couple extra. Thank you. Do you know how long this will take to be developed? The photos should be developed very quickly. We'll be sure everyone gets these before the end of the month. They smile and nod, letting me return to... Oh, don't forget us! Yeah, get me and my wife! My next client's pulling me aside to take shots of them in a secluded corner. And after that, some of the bridesmaids have grabbed me to take shots for them. It isn't long before even some of the servers are wanting pictures of themselves posing in front of the decorations. Somehow, I'm able to squeeze my way out of the mayhem and make my way towards the back of the venue in order to get some much-needed fresh air. Shortly after, I noticed Ben doing the same thing, though he manages to do so far more gracefully by talking his way out of whatever requests the wedding-goers have for him. It makes me wish I was better communicating and asserting myself in these kinds of situations. Ben takes notice of me and approaches at a very casual pace, with no one else seemingly taking notice of him. Taking a breather? I just give Ben a nod of my head, causing him to smile and adjust his glasses with his index finger. Well, the wedding is almost finished, so the worst of the workload's behind us. That was a good... Ben checks his phone. 8 hours? Jeez. Man, yeah, my legs are starting to hurt. You're telling me? You don't even have a tail. How do you think I feel? We sigh together. It's the first bit of silence we've had in a while. Across the room, the bride slumps into a chair, trying to kick her heels off. The groom sees me and shrugs a bit, smirking. So, how are you feeling about the pictures you've taken? I think I'm pretty confident in mine. Once you have the right equipment, it's just a matter of socializing right and getting the right shots for these sorts of events. I'm satisfied. You? Honestly, I'm not sure. I've been taking all these pictures, right? But it's like... something's missing. Missing? You make it sound like some grand art thing. I know. Back across the room, the bride motions to her new husband. It looks like the time of night for him to carry her out in his arms like in all the movies. She was probably not expecting those slick moves to position her on his back like a child. He laughs to himself while she pouts loudly and holds onto his hair to keep balance. It looks juvenile, honestly, as the bride taps at the exhausted groom's head with balled-up fists, but he's laughing. A laugh so infectious that her pout is replaced with delighted giggles of her own when he finally catches her hand in his and just holds it. Once again, they're talking, and the bride is melting into putty at his quiet words. For how menial it is and how crude that guy was earlier, that understanding and genuine playfulness between them. Without a thought, I'm already looking through the viewfinder and making the focusing adjustments for the perfect shot. The shot is cheesy, but sincere. They both look beyond exhausted, their clothes showing the wear and tear of the night, and their body language screaming their need for sleep. And also the smiles they have as they try and look at each other in their awkward positions, speak metric vibes of just how happy they are after all.
Why'd you do what?
Huh? To do what?
You took a picture, just now.
Did I? When did my finger get placed over the shutter button? I guess I did. I checked the new entry in the camera roll.
Careful, that's an easy way to waste a lot of memory. Should probably just delete it.
Delete it, huh? I think it'll be fine. I actually got a good feeling about it. Seemed pretty natural, you know? Ben rolls his eyes.
If you say so.
Before the Parastar turns to go back to his assembly line photo taking, I grab his shoulder. By the way, Ben.
Huh?
Mia stopped by our lunch table earlier today to complain to Olivia.
Oh boy.
Said you were trying to call her, but was upset she wasn't picking up. I don't want to pry into your personal business, but aren't you two on bad terms?
Huh? What are you talking about?
What?
I haven't spoken to Olivia in ages.
Huh.
I thought you were above gossip, Inko.
I'm sorry, Alright, you boys ready to pack up? Pretty long night, huh? Our teacher looks haggard as he steps up to us. His wings are dragging on the floor and he's propping himself up with one of the light stands we brought. Despite his exhaustion, he's grinning wildly. You two enjoy your first work experience?
Oh, absolutely, Mr. Yudakin. I managed to load up both the memory cards you gave to me, and I even managed to try the different kinds of lenses you had brought.
Good to hear, Ben. What about you, Inko? Well, if I'm being honest with you, it took a while for me, Mr. Yudakin. Well, I suppose it is a tough order to start with. So many things to account for, and... no, I meant that I didn't really get that many good shots till the end, Mr. Yudakin. I didn't even finish the first card you'd given me. I see. Well, when we go through these next weeks, I'm sure they'll be fine. Oh, definitely. The groom saunters up with a huge grin on his face, slinging an arm around our teacher's shoulders. Can't wait to see these. Yudakin straightens up and shrugs the arm off, turning to the newly married man. You'll see them when you see them. My team still needs to go through all the pictures and weed out the chaff. Come on, T. Can't you give your buddy a preview or something? Yudakin sighs a bit. Hey, it's your special day. Ben, could you go fetch the laptop and card reader?
Yes, sir.
Inko, while he's doing that, can you start packing up everything into the trunk? Sure thing, Mr. Yudakin. Before I turn away to start, the Petired Tarot takes the camera from me. We can sit at that table over there. The two older men head off, leaving Ben and I to get started unpacking everything up. While Ben and I are busy dismantling the multitude of standing flashes and lamps, the bride, groom, and Mr. Yudakin sits at a cleaned-up table with a laptop before them. I can't really make out what they're saying, but I can kind of tell based on the way the three switch between quietly focused and laughing loudly. By the time the back of the car is loaded up, the rest of the wedding party has departed. Nothing left to do, Ben and I linger a bit behind the group. Yeah, these came out pretty dang great. Thanks again for... Hello? What's this? The laptop displays the last picture I took, somewhat unintentionally. He scans the photo with a critical eye. He nods and chuckles with approval. Okay, kid. Good job. Be sure to print this one out for me, Trent. I'm going to put it in my wallet. Sure. Despite how lackluster his compliment is, I can't help but feel proud of my work. It's been a while since I felt like this. Either way, it's not long before we climb into the car and begin our journey back to the school. I settle into the rhythmic motions of the car as it glides along the road. The cityscape of Volcadera Bluffs passes by, and I can't help but admire it. The mood is quickly killed, however, as Ben calls a certain red-scaled girl. The saccharine lovey-dovey talk makes my head hurt, and I can guess by his expression that Iodakin feels the same way. He changes the subject by asking if my parents can pick me up. Looks like I'll be taking the late-night metro home. Still, I had fun today. I bring out my own phone, noticing the half-dozen messages Olivia had sent while I was busy.
Are you winning yet? Better be. Guts bet me some sunflower seeds that Ben would win.
While there were more messages, that one in particular had me thinking. I mean, it wasn't a competition to begin with, but there's also the fact that the groom hadn't complimented any of Ben's shots, so... Collect your winnings, Olivia. Dancing Gator.
Good job, Agent. You deserve a reward for your hard work.
Reward? What kind of... Oh my. Would she really? She knows that I'm with Ben and Iodakin. The interior of the car feels a few degrees warmer as I wait with bated breath.
Inko? You okay? You're breathing pretty hard.
Fine. Perfectly fine. Just, car sick. I make sure that there's absolutely no way anyone except me can view my screen. As extra protection, I dim the brightness of it to the point that only I'd be able to see a thing in the darkness of the car. Finally, Olivia's text comes through. I hold my breath before opening my eyes to see...
He gets a crown.
Right. Do.
Mr. Iodakin, I think Inko's about to vomit.
Not in here! In hindsight, I should have seen that coming, seeing as I'm in love with her and all. Damn my hormones.